1v1. But I mean, we're
Yeah.
gonna be getting into this game number 1 here, where we have just a little bit of a friendly showdown. Mack and Error versus Weiss and Janky. Let's get into it. Let's talk. I mean, Ada in Cross versus Akaya
Yeah.
and a Nash in tournament.
Yeah. Well, I know I switched to Nash from Hattori, so maybe
Oh.
going for like a lot of the hammer stuff. Like hammer's a much stronger a much stronger weapon than it used to be, and so trying to really take advantage of those opportunities in 2v2 could be what Mack's after.
Yeah, good call out there, Johnny. And I mean,
Yeah.
Takaya is a very well, I mean, a strong iconic legend. Used in twos quite a bit as of recently. So I mean, no surprise that we're seeing Error here over on Takaya. As for this Ada though, I'm not too sure about Weiss's Ada, but I mean it's high above there, and I think he's been using it in twos alongside with Janky. So I mean, no surprise that we're seeing it here as well too.
Yeah, with blasters having a much stronger thing now, and that Daylight Stare will take it. It's understandable like why Ada is going to get a lot more play, and that might be a bit of Jan will make it back. Janky will make it back on the wall, but still on the wall, gets back to stage, but already in dark red. But so far, they're actually pretty even. Janky loses the stock on that spear ground pound.
Yep. Mack kind of playing around, just trying to hold off his stock for the moment being, but finally he goes down to second stock, and like you said, even across the board here, not surprised by it. Janky though, trying to get Error off stage, but Error is able to slide by, make it back. Now, it kind of seems like, what we're seeing here is kind of two 1v1s.
Yeah.
These players are opting for two 1v1s. They're not going for much
Mack,
team combos. And, I think
Yeah.
it's honestly going to favor the blue team here because, like I mentioned, they're not a team that is, they're not an actual team. They're put together. They're two players that have been kind of put together just playing the tournament for fun. So it kind of makes sense.
They're takeout partners.
Yeah. It makes sense why, they're opting for these two 1v1s. And honestly, it's going to benefit the blue team here. And like you see there, just simultaneously, the red team stocks are gone. They're down to their last here. And Mack and Error are still holding their second stocks here very strong.
Yeah, sure. They're not going to get a lot of the flashiness of the team combos by regular teams that practice these regularly. But they're still being very effective in putting up these 1v1 fights, as you said, and getting a double Daylight Stare on the over there on Cross, and Error Code having Janky off stage makes it back, doesn't get the Stare to land, and that ground pound connects. Wow. So two stocks taken, but Janky is the one who's behind. Last stock versus two stocks there. Janky makes it back up recovery, but it's still in an off-stage situation. And once again, a weapon throw there. What's going on? Like Mack is gone, so now it's only a 1v1, and now Janky has a chance at this.
Yeah, I mean, Error had to.
Off stage.
Yeah, Error. I guess he's throwing for content here. He made this a little bit of a nail biter for us here, but Error, I mean, confident in the 1v1 and rightfully so, able to get the ground pound, able to get the KO, and as of in game number 1, going towards Mack and Error. And I would say though that was a still pretty close game. I would say coming down at the end, we definitely saw that the red team, they started to lose, that kind of evenness. They lost that evenness coming down to the end there, and that was specifically because the blue team was able to hold their second stock for so long, and was able to get the KO as well.
I see. We do have a legend swap. We're going to see Priya. This is my first time seeing Priya in tournament, so. Of course, with the patch, Priya is now tournament legal, so we'll see if Chakrams come out.
Yeah, fun fact, we hosted a little Priya 1v1 edition tournament a little while back. It's there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
For I think Weiss actually competed in that. He didn't win though. But he came, I believe, top 4. So. Very interesting indeed. But I remember before this tournament even started, that Weiss and Janky, they were practicing this Priya in cross comp, and they were practicing some combos and all of that. So maybe they thought that the Ada wasn't the pick, and he's gonna be going over to this Priya here. And guys, if you see the golden name of the Priya in that little the UI thing, that is correct indeed. Weiss is a level 100 Priya. So this guy is he's crazy.
Playing a lot of Priya now. Of course, there are people know there are ways to get level 100 without playing a legend and ranked for 3 years. as I did with the Tori.
Obviously, it's not out for 3 years, so Weiss getting the level 100 Priya, so kind of a little fishy, a little bit fishy, but you know that's a story for another day.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
get
what I was
back to
kind
the
of getting
action.
at.
Let's get back to the action here, Jaguar.
Yes.
Weiss, I mean, you know, currently on the edge here. Era's
Weiss
trying to get
on
him
the wall
out.
there.
There we go. That's gonna be enough.
Well spaced there. Weiss isn't going to make it back, and already taking a whole stock up for each of them, and still only in yellow on the blue team.
Yeah, blue team, you know, starting off this second game very strong here over onto the red team, already
Another
up with the lead.
there.
And Janky, I mean, just struggling over on the edge here, just pogos. After pogos coming out from Mack, finally, he's able to create some sort of distance from Mack here, but Mack just gonna go ahead and abuse
really
Weiss now at the moment.
Pogo. That pogo doesn't connect, but Weiss must really be afraid on the edge here, and rightly so. Janky makes it back, but immediately gets hit. Janky still finally gets back there and now gets punished for the end sig. And the well-spaced there, Janky does hit teammate, saves himself, and we are back in action, but they are still well behind, and Janky just goes off the stage.
Yeah, very much behind.
Weiss also.
The red team has been unable to capitalize on to the stock here. Just a weapon throw, ground pound, another weapon throw. Era's
Era's not going to make it back.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened over there. Maybe he just used his options badly.
Yeah,
but
Janky's not going to make it
just
back
going
either.
Crazy off stage. Now Weiss is left in a 2v1 spot here, where he's just going crazy over on the chakrams, just racking up the damage, carrying him up in the air.
And there's that. There's that in there. Yeah, chakrams can be like very counterintuitive of how to punish them, but so far building up a bit of damage on Era, but still is down 3 whole stocks in a 2v1. So gotta be a real challenge for Weiss to pull this off.
Yeah, indeed. But I mean, you know, if anybody could do it, maybe it could be Weiss. Probably. That was a nice spot dodge there to also avoid, you know, coming in from, I believe it was Mack.
Yeah.
But
I think Era off stage. Era might not have any options. Era's kind of cornered, so that's 1 stock down.
Yeah.
Weiss now with fused chakrams. Let's see. Needs to take another stock from Mack and pretty quickly. And nope, that's going to connect, and so Mack is up 2 games now. Mack and Era are up 2 games to 0.
Yeah, seems like the Priya wasn't the pick too much, to be honest. I mean, actually, yo, did you see that damage coming out from Janky? Anybody screenshot that? 39 damage coming out from Janky. What are we doing, Janky? You might have to hop off of this Han Solo. I can't lie.
Well, he is locking across again, so it's a level 100.
Oh, hell no. 39 damage, guys. Oh, my God. This is insane. I mean, the stats even show it. That's actually criminal. 3 stocks for 39 damage. That's like, how much? 13 damage for a stock? Oh
yeah,
my
I think
God.
it's kind of like whenever I play in Strikeout and the opponent is clearly a new player, so obviously it's a mismatch, and then they basically get very few hits off and then maybe just leave. But yeah, it could be the same kind of thing, like just getting really outplayed here. Like, these are really good players, and so it may not be too much of an embarrassment to have something like that against really strong competition, as Era and Mack have shown themselves to be.
It just seems like Janky had a bad game, but we'll call it at that and just leave it at that.
Yeah.
It seems like this game is
down already.
It seems like this game is Weiss's bad game now, because his first stock he just got annihilated. In less than 10 seconds, this guy is gone. Simply by Era just ground pounding him to oblivion. And I mean, he's already on
there's
stage.
recovery.
Man, it's just not looking good for the red team across the board. I can't lie, Jaguar.
Well, it's an unfortunate start, but it's definitely not insurmountable. But they're going to have to play their best game in order to do it.
Yep.
Keep themselves in a running, because it's always unfortunate to lose a stock that early like that. And lose stock like there, Weiss does make it back. Mack won't, and so just like that, stocks are equal, but Weiss is a little behind in damage.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, Weiss trying to hold a second stock for as long as possible, but even though that misplay came out from Weiss, right now the red team is surprisingly up in the lead. Janky holding his first stock for as long as he can. Does dare his teammate though, but still, I mean, not, you know, too much of a bad spot. The weapon throw goes for the pogo. So deep.
It does make it back. Error code makes it back covered by Mack. Weiss trying to avoid that dangerous spear dare.
Nice combo.
Up in stock, but they're both in dark red. Red team has not lost a stock since then, and if already in damage, so they would be basically up about 1 whole stock worth of damage. And Delight Sarah, that is enough to take Weiss. So Weiss down to last stock. So Weiss is one who has to play extremely careful now, especially against something like Hammer, and Janky also loses a stock.
Yeah, but Janky
so
down
Weiss
to his second stock here while she's seeing back in error. Look at the health that they're in. They're in their second stocks, but they're deep in the red here. If the red team can capitalize and take out both of them, I mean, they still have the lead going. So right now, I mean,
yeah,
red team can definitely take this one. They can definitely take this game. They just got to capitalize onto it.
Yeah, I think Janky has to be the one taking the aggressive because, and that takes Vistaka. Nice.
It was such a well-placed dare from Weiss to save his teammate, but also to take out error as well, too.
Yeah. Yeah, Weiss needs to play carefully because that Weiss is the one for team stock.
Yeah.
Not able to get that there, but that. So kind of getting back to the 2 1v1s now, and it's Janky. Janky does make it back. Ground Pound will take Janky though. Janky down to last stock. Weiss is in trouble.
Yep, very much in trouble.
Makes it back. That will connect. Weiss dodges back in. Finally back to safety. Gets hit by Delight Sarah. I think that was confirmed. So Weiss is out. It's all up to Janky now to save the red team from being sent home in 7th place.
Yeah.
Arrow Code almost being out. Like Arrow Code can get knocked out quickly. It's a well-placed dare and another dare. Mack down. Mack is down. Another well-spaced dare. Janky's not going to make it back, and that means Mack and Error are going to take it 3-0.
3-0 indeed. Sadly, Weiss and Janky are going to be going home, but Error and Mack are going to be continuing in today's tournament. Yeah, we're going to be seeing them more later today, in about a couple of sets. But let's have a look at these replays here, Jack. What do you make of that set that we just saw?
Well, I mean, always unfortunate to lose a stock quickly against Hammer like that, but it happens. And I think what you do is you just show perseverance when you go through. You just hold on. You keep playing your solid game. When you're on your last stock, you play it a lot more conservatively, try to save your team stock, and you just need to. Unfortunately, unfortunately, Janky wasn't able to really carry too much as would have been needed here to equalize the situation, but really putting up a solid fight.